Welcome to Vibrant Morning here in BTV. Now this morning we brings you what is in the People Daily newspaper, that is newspaper review. Remember BTV, your home live TV. You can follow us on Facebook page BTV Kenya, Blackman TV Kenya. You can also follow us on YouTube BTV Kenya. You can also reach to us on Facebook page. You can reach to us on Instagram and TikTok BTV. Welcome once again this morning to Vibrant Morning, where we discuss and where we give you brief of what is in the newspaper, that is newspaper review, while you take the responsibility to read more comprehensively. Remember, People Daily newspaper is a free newspaper. Just reach to your closest vendor, pick your copy and read more extensively. Now this morning I'm your host Gagi Isaiah, and my co-host Lennox Odede is also with me this morning. Good morning, Lennox.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How do you do?
How do I answer that? I do fine.
You can't remember during our old the young age when you were children, you go to school and you start singing
Good morning, elephant.
Good morning to you.
I did not sing that.
Good morning, and how do you do?
I sang Good morning, elephant. How do you do? And then from there, I think I want to.
No, I'm not that you are not a good singer.
I don't know.
Those people are being forced to sing.
No, but I'm a good singer.
You
I'm a good singer.
Good morning, elephant.
I'm a good singer, by the way. I used to sing tenor solo. I did not love singing while in primary school, but I was a good singer.
Okay.
Reason being, in primary school, they used to sing these folk songs, and folk songs, it needs you to dance a lot. Like you use a lot of energy.
And you are not a good dancer.
And then I was not a good dancer. I can't dance at the same time singing. But when I went to high school, I found out that someone can sing bass solo,
a set piece,
tenor solo, there's set piece, there's the quartet, where you sing four people, there's duet, you sing two people.
My friend, you know music.
So I just enjoyed that, but what I enjoyed most is tenor solo. Yes, and the first time I sang tenor solo was when I was in Form 2. In Form 1 I sang quartet and duet. In Form 2 I sang tenor solo. Up to Form 4, surprisingly, when we reached Form 4, you are not supposed to be in music club. You are not supposed to involve yourself in singing, because most of the time we used to practice even at night. Some are reading in class, then as we are practicing. Our teacher was our music teacher is retired. We nicknamed him Mr. Boom Boom. The reason why we nicknamed him, the first time he came to school, I was in Form 1. And then now he was introducing himself in the assembly. And then he told us, I'm a music teacher. Now I want you to try singing. So he was like, boom boom zinga boom boom. So then he wanted us to produce that bass because we were boys' school. So that's how he nicknamed it. But anyway, he was a very good music teacher, and he loved what he was doing so much. And that's why I fell in love with the tenor solo and all that. And in Form 2 I sang tenor solo up to national level. Form 3 national level at Mombasa. In Form 2 the national level was at Nakuru. When I was in Form 4 the national level was in Kisumu. And I went places.
Can you give us a trial?
To
hear one of the favorite
one of the songs I sang.
Yes.
Santa Lucia.
You have spoken, you not sang.
Yeah, I'm just giving you the the name of the title of the song, Santa Lucia. Moonlight so sweet and pale from heavens falling, red light that Mama Lo to us are calling.
In fact, you made me today. Only one thing.
Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia.
I get you.
I'm a good singer, tenor for that matter.
One thing that I've learned is that you can really remember the songs you sang when you're in primary school, especially the lower primary.
Yeah, I can.
Remember Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star?
Yeah, I think I can remember it. Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I la 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 la. Then there was one. Baba black sheep, ah la la la. Hey.
Yes, sir, 3 bags full.
One for the master, one for.
One
yes,
for the little boy who lives down the lane.
Yeah, but one thing which was funny about the songs is that when they were translated, then they were something else. When the songs were translated, then they were something else. Like there's this song, row, row, row your boat, row, row, row your boat, gentle down the stream, merrily, 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 merrily. So you get now translate it to Dholuo.
Now translate merrily, merrily, merrily.
No, translate it to Dholuo. Row, 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 rabbit. That's what it is. No, that's what we used to sing. I'm telling you.
That is what we used to sing.
No, I'm telling you what we used to sing.
Okay.
And then I later realized that the teachers were misleading us. I later realized that the teachers were misleading us. Because I realized
is
now row, rabbit. Now your boat is rabbit.
Actually, it happens.
Yeah, it did happen.
You know, when you're a kid, you sing anything.
You sing anything that comes along.
You see.
And we really knew that was the translation of row, row your boat. Row, row, rabbit. Gido kadoka. Anyway.
There's one that ladies used to sing. It was a singing game.
Yeah.
They sing while they are jumping on a rope. Can you remember?
I can't remember, but we had a teacher.
The ladies people used to sing it Bebligat, Bebligat.
How is it supposed to be sung?
It wasn't Bebligat. It was bubble gum. Anyway, that's good. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to flash back.
Yeah, so you realized I can sing.
Yeah, you can sing. You can
sing.
But
at one point in time, I sang bass solo. Bass solo. I tried it, but you know, we were singing. Tunaanza wengi, lakini tukiendelea unapata wengine wanabaki, wengine wanasonga. So in bass solo nilibaki hapa Migori TTC. I think it was a county competition.
You couldn't proceed.
So it was a song, You Can Dance. You can dance, you can jive, having your time of your life. Oh. So now, best nilibaki hapa TTC.
I know where to catch you from. I know where to interview you. I'll bring you to the show. Don't worry next time.
Good.
Now on that note,
yeah.
Let me take the opportunity once again. Now you've really sang to us wonderfully.
Yeah.
You've carried the day. You've carried the morning. Now give us brief of what happened in Migori County.
Migori County, we are very. Yesterday we woke up to a very sad news, by the way. There's rising insecurity incidences in Kuria land, and those people they are suspected to be attacking while moving. So the other night people who are armed with pangas and guns attacked people at Getonganya shopping center. And there are 2 people who are nursing gunshot wounds at Migori Teaching and Referral Hospital, and several other people are also nursing maybe panga cuts and all that from the attack. And I'm being told that one of them who sustained injuries was an 8-year-old boy who also sustained panga injuries, and it is a very sad thing. And yesterday, the security agencies in the county held a meeting at Mabera, and we expect more information from them, because yesterday we tried so much as possible to at least reach them, but when we went to Mabera, we found out that they were still in a meeting, and it was a very long meeting. So they promised to give us a brief of what happened today, and we expect to know more about the attack. Or the only thing that we are appealing to the government is to ensure that the security in Mabera is beefed up, because you know the attack happened, yet there is a police station nearby. But you know, when you don't know when someone who is armed will attack, yeah, so you know it caught them unaware. So we really need the security in the area to be beefed up, because the other time we saw an hotel, that is Sunrise Hotel in Kuria. I think it was in the Sunrise Hotel is somewhere in Kegonga, also was attacked by unknown people. And we also saw maybe a businessman being robbed of his money and being attacked in Kehancha. So just a lot of things within a span of 1 week. So we really need to see some changes in terms of security in the area. And again, in Masara, we saw people, the residents there, also staging a protest and barricading the road from Mukuro to Masara, because they were claiming that each and every day there's an accident there. So they need the bodies responsible for transports and road to at least erect speed bumps to at least help in reducing the speeds. And they were accusing the tipper drivers for causing a lot of accidents because they drive recklessly, and they need the ministry, or rather the NTSA, to at least check on the driving license of these tipper drivers, so that at least they can ensure that all of them have got driving license, because they were claiming that most of them just get out of driving school wanaingia kwenye magari. So that is what's happening in the county, and I think that's all. And tomorrow we will have a public participation on femicide. Femicide is one of the problems that we have as a country. The GBVs, people are being killed, especially women are victims of circumstances. Most of them are being killed, and we saw it in Migori Banana, whereby a lady was killed, and surprisingly the lady left behind 4 children, set of twins and 2 other children. And we had the other incident in Kayole, Nairobi. So it is something that we really need to know about. People really need to be educated and at least know much about it. Yeah.
Okay, so where will community participation?
Oh,
participation be
it will take place at TTC, just here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
and
great.
Everyone is welcomed.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much for giving us a brief of what is in Migori County.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lennox Odede. Now, as we move on, let us get into what is in the People Daily newspaper. Now, looking onto the cover page of the People Daily newspaper. Looking at the cover page of the People Daily newspaper, you will see there, Riggy G, Kenyans have not forgotten Kiambaa. Now, you remember yesterday, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua,
yes,
held a media press,
yeah,
media briefing, and he said that the Kenyan government is
after his life,
and had sent machineries to actually kill him, to assassinate him, and A lot has been said. That story is there. You can read that. Stories in page 4 of the People Daily newspaper.
Yeah.
We'll give you a brief of that. Now, still on the cover page, you will also see Tip of Tanzania Affairs. Suluhu warns Kenyans as Matunga deported. Willy Mutunga
was also deported.
from Tanzania. This comes barely after the 6, including the Liberation People Party from chairperson, that is Martha Karua, and the 6 were deported. Now we also say this, that also is in the People Daily newspaper on page 6. And also we see blow as court blocks IEBC nominees. Now that story is also there on page 4. Now taking on the bigger story, or the story, let's begin with this story in page 1 about court stopping National Assembly of vetting the 7 IEBC nominee. Now story is by Alphonse Mungao. Now President William Ruto's nominees to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC have suffered a setback after High Court issued conservatory orders halting their vetting and approval by the National Assembly. Now, application, the IEBC called people to apply for jobs. Those advertisements for jobs, different capacities in the IEBC. And after that, we did see people made application, the interviews were done, and upon that, all those who were believed best suited for the job were given to the president. Now from the president now did a nomination, and from the nomination we have seen that those who were nominated by the president, whom the president forwarded to the parliament for vetting and approval, now there's a setback as the two, Boniface Mwangi and Ochieng, moved to court challenging the legality, the transparency, and to which the whole process was conducted. And we also realized that if you read that carefully, you'll also find that Paul Mute argues out that Mr. Hassan, who was also nominated by the president, was not among the list of those who were forwarded to the president for the nomination. And this has brought a lot of fracas, and now we see the court has barred, they have stopped the going on of the vetting of the nominees to the IEBC, including the chairperson of the IEBC, till such a time, that is till 29th, that is when they will be hearing again, and the case will be determined in the court of law. And remember, these people were supposed to be vetted as soon as 26th of May. Now times is lapsing, and we also know so well that there are some constituencies, some wards, some areas that are not represented because of lack of constitutionalism of the IEBC. Now, what is next for us when it comes to this?
You know, sometimes in this matter, I'm faulting the court because time is running out. The truth of the matter is 2027 is just around the corner. And it is just a matter of time, because trust me, as from next year, in some regions, politics will begin as soon as after the financial bill 2025-2026 is read and is put into action. If in any case there will be no the Gen Z's protest we saw there last year. And until now, there are some regions which are not represented. If you look at Baringo, they have got no senator, right? If you look at Ugunja, they have got no MP because their MP was nominated to be the CS. If you look at Kasipul, we don't have an MP. There's an area in Homa Bay County without an MCA. If you look at Malulu Injendi, where was he coming from?
Malulu was coming from, was it Vihiga?
Yeah, whatever the constituency he was handling. If you look at that constituency, they have got no representative. That is just an example. These people, they need services. These people, they need development, but they have got no leaders to implement the developments. So we really need IEBC to be put in place so that at least a by-election can be conducted in this can be conducted in these areas, so that at least the people there can get full representation. Because what the court is trying to do is it is trying to collude with some people to alter, or rather to stop service delivery to some people. And again, remember, constitutionally, IEBC should be put in place at least 2 years before the general election. And right now, let me tell you, we have less than 1 year. Yeah, because the moment we will clock August, then we will have less than 2 years.
And you see, there's a lot of things that need to be put in place.
And there are still a lot of things that needs to be put in place. So I think in some matters, let us just stop politicizing them. If in any case there was some nominee, someone who was nominated and who was not in the list of the nominees and was presented to the parliament, let parliament do their work and say, you are not, your name was not forwarded to the president and you're not supposed to be here. So let the president give us another name. Then I think that's how things should work, because we are running out of time. And if the court and Kenya and some Kenyans continue to behave this way, then I see maybe President Ruto will work for 7 years.
Yeah, most probably.
Most probably. And
needs to be
it is the same Kenyans who doesn't want the president to work for 7 years. So why are some Kenyans going to court? Or what is it that is happening? Are they sponsored by someone?
And you see, the other challenge is that the IBC has a lot to undertake.
Yeah.
Right now, there need to be registration of voters.
They need to be working on their budget, 2027 election.
There also need to be the procurement of the voting materials and all that. And so also sensitization and education of people on matters of voters, voting and all that.
So it's like they want the last minute rush.
Okay, you can get and check on that story. Now, moving on to page 4. You can jump with us to page 4. Gachagua claims state plotting to eliminate him. Now, that story is on page 4, where we see ex-deputy president, alleged President Ruto had ordered his security guards to be disarmed and firearms licensed withdrawn. Story by Zadok Angira and Juliet Omelo. Now, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua yesterday made serious allegations that Kenyan government is plotting to either eliminate or incapacitate him using chemical agents. Gachagua claimed that a specialized squad of administration police service officers, specially trained by National Intelligence Service (NIS), has been deployed against him. And he also says he claims the unit operates under NIS Director General Nordin Haji, and that over 100 officers are involved in abduction and extrajudicial killings across the country. Now, looking into just barely 2 days after former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua did made a statement which actually brought a lot of mixed reaction from all the political divides. That is when he claimed that if the IEBC will mishandle the 2027 elections, then Kenya will not be the best place to be. And after that, now we see him barely a day after he had spoken, and many people reacting, criticizing, condemning him. He now comes to the media and says they have been plotting on how he can be eliminated, how he can be incapacitated. And he stated a lot of things, saying that Kenyans also have not forgotten about the Kiambaa, something that happened long time ago. They say Kenyans will forgive but not forget. I really don't understand how things are happening here. You, Lennox, you have been so much in support and a great sympathizer of the impeached deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. What is your take in all these scenarios that now we see?
You know, I was a great sympathizer with Gachagua when he was being ousted, or rather impeached, because I was imagining, you know, you saw when the president came here, and you saw when the president came here, you know, that is power. That is power. And if you looked at how people, or rather things were being handled when the president was here, it showed that power was around. I saw when Kithure Kindiki was still the Minister for Interior. He was not the deputy president by then. When he came to Hispania border, I saw power, how Kithure Kindiki was being handled, how things were being handled, and how, you know, Kithure Kindiki was the third, he was like the third in command. But in real sense, the third in command is the speaker. Yeah, but Kithure Kindiki was like the third. The way things were being handled, the way things were being done when Kithure Kindiki was here. Now imagine now the deputy president. Even himself, where he is, the way things are being handled is totally different because he's using government resources. He has got security officers assigned to him. He has got drivers. He lives in a well-protected area. He lives in how do we call it, state lodge, because he must also have his own state lodge that is in Karen. You know where it is. So I was imagining that all these things are getting away from Gachagua. You remember that day when Gachagua was being impeached? He went to the hospital using government resources. You remember that? And then suddenly, oh, Gachagua is sick, Gachagua is this, Gachagua what, and then the MPs impeached him. When he was being taken out of the hospital, he only had 2 vehicles. I think one was belonging to his son, a Harrier,
and the wife.
And then the Prado one carried him and the wife. And I think it's the son who drove them back home. Not the government assigned driver, without security and all that. And they never went back to their current home. I don't know whether they went to Wamunyoro or they went to another, because he has another home in Karen, but I'm talking about the state whatever. So I was really sympathizing with this man, because now you've been sleeping and waking up as a deputy president. Then one day you wake up as a citizen, a normal citizen, common mwananchi. Then Gachagua tried so much to remain in power. The same power now he is accusing of nasty things. The same power he is telling that if in any case ABC will rig the election, then you will see a replica of what happened in 2007. Yesterday I told you that it is true that most people have not forgotten about what happened, be it in Kiambaa, be it in Nakuru, be it in Kisumu, be it in Rongo,
in Eldoret,
in all anywhere,
parts of the Republic.
In all parts of the Republic. By the way, in Rongo, there was a Kikuyu by the name Karanja during the post-election violence. That's just a story. I told you during the post-election violence, I was in Migori. But later when I went back home, then I was told a story about Karanja, who fled to Sirare border, and anything that was in his shop, he took them to the police station in Rongo. It's like he saw it coming. It's like he saw it coming, being that the results were delayed and all that. So he just took everything in a lorry, in 2 lorries and all. He was a businessman, because the name Karanje should just tell you that he was a businessman in Rongo. Then alipeleka hizo vitu zake kwa polisi. Then he fled to Sirare. So when the people went to vamia his shop, they found nothing. The only thing they did is to burn down the shop. You see. So imagine such kind of a person. Do you think he will ever forget what happened in 2007?
Never, not easily.
There's someone who was teaching us music in church. He loved music and he loved singing. So, you know, I also used to sing in church. So he was a victim. Alitolewa Nakuru. He was just transported. Walipofika Rongo wakamwagwa hapo. Sasa nyinyi kila mtu atafute mahali anaenda. Are you getting that? Do you want to tell me that such like someone like that has forgotten what happened that year? No. He will never forget. It is a story he will live to tell his children and the generation to come. So when Gachagua wants to take us back there, it is something that we as the people of Kenya, we won't allow it to happen, because we've seen what happens after each and every elections. We really want to see that after each and every election, people move on. People should know that there must be a winner and a loser. It's not a must that my candidate must win. But if someone is coming out and saying that I will be on the ballot and let me not be rigged.
Sorry for that.
Who told him that each and every Kenyan will vote for him? Me personally, I will not vote for him, because now he's an inciter. He's inciting Kenyans. So why must you vote for an inciter? Why must you vote for someone who is fueling, who is boiling echoes of war in the country? So even as Kenyans, we are watching him closely and monitoring his words, and that is a fact.
Now he came out yesterday and said the government is after him. The government want to kill him, want to incapacitate him, and all those many statements.
Yeah.
I don't know your take on those statements.
Number one, Gachagua, media is not a security agency. Media is just a tool of communication. If you think that your life is under threat or some people are following you, go to the security agencies, report your matter to the security agencies, so that at least they can conduct an investigation. But when you come to media, you know, media is the only place whereby someone can just come up with an allegation and say that, you know what, so and so is a witch. And the funny thing with the media is that we always give someone a right of reply. You might come here and say that, oh, Lennox is a witch. Then you as a journalist, you will come and tell me, you know, so and so said you are a witch. Is it true? Then I will tell you I'm not. Yes, so and we've already seen several leaders coming out to condemn that incident,
those remarks.
or rather those remarks, because if in any case his life is under threat, then let him follow the right procedure, not coming to the media and telling us that, oh, my life is under threat and all that.
Okay. Gachagua side.
Yeah.
EACC arrest Natembeya as opposition protests. You remember the story. Natembeya has been at loggerheads with the government for quite time now, and it reached a time when the anti-corruption agency accuses the governor of embezzling of 1.4 billion county fund. And our story by Zadok Angira and Francis Githingi. Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC detectives yesterday arrested Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya over alleged embezzlement of 1.4 billion Kenyan shillings county funds, made criticism from the opposition. Natembeya's lawyer Ndegwa Ginjiri said the governor was arrested in Kitale and brought to EACC headquarters, where he was grilled and his statement recorded. Now we remember yesterday we see this really sparked a lot of reaction from the common mwananchi, especially from Natembea's backyard. They moved and there was a lot of chaos everywhere. What is your take about looking at the way things goes, looking at the life of Natembea and how everything is now turning up?
You know, one thing I love about Natembea is that he's one leader who has always stood firm with these people. And the reason I just, I don't know how to put this. I don't know how to put this, but the government, I think I stand to be corrected.
Sure,
you know, most of the time when you look at the government, when you begin to criticize its operations, sijini makosa unatafutiwa ama sijini uchunguzi unaanza. Unaona? Because Natembea has been on record criticizing government operations. Remember when Ruto said that the people who are living across the border are eligible to be given ID cards? Natembea opposed that. Right now we have the leasing process of state-owned sugar companies, and we've seen in Luo Nyanza several leaders have come out to support the leasing, but there are several things that they want to see being done, and they have listed them. But Natembea was opposing that, and he has been on the record. So I don't know whether it is because of this that the EACC decided to conduct an investigation and an arrest. But if in any case it is true that he has embezzled money, then let the law take its course. But again, sorry for that, you know, sijapona. But again, we saw how his people came out in large numbers to protest against the arrest. So maybe he's with the people. The people are seeing good development there. So maybe if in any case the government wants to pin him down, then let them do it in a diplomatic manner, but not relating him with embezzlement of funds. But if in any case it is true that he embezzled the funds, then let them follow the law and let them explain to us how the money was embezzled and how maybe company procurement process and all that. Let them just come out and explain to us and tell us.
Okay.
Yes.
Away from Kenya.
Yeah.
Now, but still touching on Kenya.
Yeah.
We didn't see yesterday Tanzania President Samia Suluhu Hassan came out fire blazing and said she has seen a lot that has been happening, a lot of posts in the media, people castigating her, people talking ill of her, of what she did, but she still maintained her stand that she's not going to relent. Nobody, no activist is going to meddle in the Tanzanian affairs. And she was very stern when she was saying this. She said they have destroyed their own country and they are coming to destroy Tanzania. We are not going to relate into that.
Yeah.
And from that he deported back. That is Martha Karua and the 6. And now we see Willy Mutunga was also deported back. So there's nothing. And we also realized that the Martha Karua said that they went there just to witness the trial, the treason trial charge against Tundu Lissu, who is the opposition in Tanzania. And it did not augur well with them. They were detained, passports given, and they made a lot of cry. The activists were detained and deported back. And after some time, you realize that Suluhu came out and was very categorical, was stern. Her statement was clear as crystal.
I loved his statement, her statement, by the way. He said that huko kwenyu mmedhibitiwa na sasa mnakuja kutuharibia nchi. Hatuwezi tukakubali wanaharakati kuja kutuharibia nchi. You know, huko kwenyu mmedhibitiwa. I really loved that. Huko kwenyu mmeshindwa. Sasa mnakuja huku kutuharibia. But I don't know, but maybe she was just trying to protect his country, because Tundu Lissu was charged with the treason. He was arrested, being charged with treason. So I don't know why she did that, but I think she was just trying to show them that I also have a territory to protect. Yeah.
Okay, that's aside. Is Homa Bay ready to host Madaraka Day? That's another big question here. Infrastructure in the county has improved, including stadium, roads, airstrip, and tourism facilities. Story by Zadok Angira. We know Madaraka Day is headed to Homa Bay, and everything has been put in place. You grab a copy and read that story is there.
In fact, we even have a state lodge in Homa Bay, and the president will spend his night there.
Okay. You can grab a copy and read that story. It is there in the People Daily newspaper on page 8. Fresh bill to boost. Fresh bill a boost for content creators like you and we are content creators. We see now our own Senator Eddie Okech is saying that the bill is aimed to put measures in place for creatives, incentives, and to get recognition. I can't wait for that day.
Brother, some people call him Super Senator. Senator. You know, the other time,
it's a bill that is coming.
I think he's one of the leaders in Migori County who are really trying, because, you know, remember, Senate have got no allocation. The only allocation they have is the Senate Oversight Fund.
Just before you get to that, let me read this, because we're going to discuss that a little while. It says the content creators stand to benefit from the country government grant should a new bill be enacted as is. The Creative Industry Support Bill 2024, sponsored by Migori Senator Eddie Okech, seeks to standardize support to persons in the creative industry. He proposed that the Cabinet Secretary for Education shall, in consultation with the National Treasury counterpart, put in place measures for granting incentives, including tax relief. The incentives and benefits shall only be made available to members of the guild whose names have been entered into the roll. Read the parts of the bill. Now we see Senator is coming up and saying, we have people who are doing a lot. They are really going, they sacrifice their sleep to just create a content to help them earn a living. Now the government must come in place and recognize them, and actually on whatever they are doing, it is going to be a benefit. Now you are saying something about the senator.
He's doing something that is called Youth for Youth, because most of content creators are youth. So I think if in any case this one will see the light of the day, then we will even see the county government supporting us, and we don't expect to see any form of corruption from the county government. Yes, because you know it is in the county government that people are really fearing that corruption image. Yeah.
Okay. Now you are talking about Senator Eddie Okech he has been doing things and there is no allocation. But again, I was sharing with a friend some days ago that if Senator Eddie is not watched carefully, then come 2032. It's good to lead the county of Migori as a governor.
And he can do better.
Yes, my argument was on the basis that now it's doing whatever it's doing without no allocation, no money allocated for him. he has managed to raise funds for the border border sector, that's the border circle, of all the Migori County, that is from all the constituencies, 8 constituencies. And now he has a project of reaching out to the BMU within the Migori County, that is the beach management within the Migori County. And again, he is planning some other thing to do with the young
Juakali
also,
sector,
the Juakali sector and all that. And all these things the senator is doing, and there's no allocation, there is no money. He's able to mobilize his friends, mobilize his fellow leaders, bring them together, do a fundraising and build. Now I say this is a good platform. This is a way to tell a signal that people should be looking at. Now when it comes to time for his campaign, he will say, remember, I've done this. What if what the county has is put on my hand? And it's very clear. It's not mentioned that he's going to run for the 2027 elections, but I believe, I'm persuaded that come 2032, he will be on the ballot box. What is your take on that?
Yeah, you know, each and every person must lazima uangalie mbele. Yeah, and I think what Ed is trying to do is that anaangalia mbele. Yes. Anaangalia mbele. Yeah, he's dreaming.
Okay, let's take on this, then we go to the tune of the day. But before we go to the tune of the day, PSC defends UN appointment as competitive and lawful. Now, story by Matthew Ndungu. The Public Service Commission has defended the appointment of former Permanent Secretary Professor Bitange Ndemo as University of Nairobi Vice Chancellor, insisting the process was competitive and lawful. Now remember, University of Nairobi has currently been experiencing a lot of challenges, and now they never had a Vice Chancellor, and now Ndemo has been given the opportunity to serve as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. And we see things are now moving on good course, and now the PS says that whatever was done, it was competitive and it was lawful. Nobody was left out. You can also check on that story. It is there. And also another story on page 5. MP shock as PS skips budget session to attend Nanyuki retreat. You can also check that, a story by Mercy Mwai. Cooperative Principal Secretary Patrick Kilemi left MPs in shock after he proposed that his appearance before the House be pushed to the last week of May, when the timeline for consideration of budget estimates would have lapsed. You can also check that and read much of that story. And also we see
jamaa amesema entertainment lazima.
Pardon?
Jamaa amesema entertainment ni lazima.
Ni lazima. No missing anything. And also we see CLE raise advocate training exam changes. Now let us jump to tune of the day in page 10 of the People Daily newspaper. I want you to take on the quotes of the day. I don't know how ready you are with the quotes of the day.
Yes, I can see we have Correctional Services PS Salome Biko. He said that these beds for inmates are symbols of humanity. They say they are still human, you are still seen, you are still valued. I think he was speaking when she issued some beds to some of the inmates in one of the prisons in the country. And I think I was yesterday I was passing through the Migori prison, and right now one of my friends is remanded there, but sijaenda kumuona. One of my friends is remanded there, but sijaenda kumuona. I think I'll go and see him today. So it was written Migori Prison Services, but I thought it's high time we change the name from prison to correctional facility. What do you think? Yeah, because it is an area whereby people are being corrected. You know, when you say that you are taking it to prison, it gives that picture that you know how that place, that place is nasty. Nobody wants to be there. So I think it's high time that we need to name them correctional facilities, so that at least we can create a friendly environment for these people. Yeah, and we ensure that there's enough beds and all that for these people. Yeah. So that is just by the way. I thought just a thought of, by the way. Then we have Kakamega Agriculture Executive Officer, that is Moffat Mandela. It is absurd that Lutonyi has moved from a modern fish farm to a bushy field after it was abandoned at the expense of fish farmers and consumers. That I think he was speaking about a fish farm in Kakamega. Then we have the last one is Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi. We are witnessing people start tribal political parties in the country. Their interest is to balkanize and divide our people, but we have to look beyond that and focus on political parties that have nationwide interest. Yeah.
Now you get that. I think that stems from former Deputy President Riggy's remarks.
Yeah.
And a lot has been happening now. Looking at the tune of the day, we see Suluhu.
Yeah.
With what? A spade.
Yeah, we can see Suluhu with a spade.
Between Russia and Ukraine.
And he's putting on gloves. He's carrying a spade, you know, and he's throwing out uchafu. And the uchafu is Martha Karua. And she's telling her, go back to your country. You can go and mediate between Russia and Ukraine.
They are the people that need this mediation, not us.
Not
we can
us.
handle our own. You can also check that. But there is also a feature story here. Why Raila is key to 2027 presidential poll.
And we saw Nani, how do you call it, Sifuna, telling us the party position. When he was in Migori last weekend,
being the party
last Friday, being the party secretary general, he told us the party position, and he said that the Raila is still fit to run for presidency in 2027. We shall see. And Nelson Koech told him, you know what, Sifuna, you're still young. You are not yet born even during the 2007 post-election violence. You don't know what we saw.
I love the way they were speaking.
You can watch the clips on our YouTube channel. They are there. Yeah, you will see the clips.
I love the way they were talking. It was in a friendly manner.
That's what I love with the politicians. The problem is with us. Sisi ndio tunawekanga hizi vitu kwa roho. But with them, you can't imagine that those people, they used the same flight while coming to Migori. You can't imagine that. You know, I even asked someone, is this one not Ojienda and Sifuna who are seen pointing at each other in parliament? Because I remember Ojienda was in front and Sifuna was behind him. And I could see Sifuna doing some things, and then Ojienda was a bit uneasy and got angry and all that. And then I saw them in stadium together. Then I later saw them in Awendo together. Then I was like, this is not the same people we saw. So the problem is with us, because I think even after that, the same woman who called I'm sorry for using that term. The same senator who told Senator Eddie that you're becoming a nuisance to the house. She sent her contribution. You know, she was not there, but she sent her contribution and a message, and we got her message from Senator Eddie. And Senator Eddie told us that very soon she will be here. So you begin to wonder, ni sisi tunawekanga hizi vitu kwa roho, which should not be the case. Watu wanakutana, they talk. The other time I saw Nyamita, though he came late while the governor was already seated, but when he came, he went, salimiad the governor, went and sat down. Masara came, greeted the governor, greeted everybody, went and sat down. So if they are not fighting, why must we fight?
And I remember there was a slight joke. There was there was a live event that was happening. I don't know. I think it was in Kiambaa.
Yeah.
Where there was Kindiki, there was Ichungwa, there was several leaders, and I think Nyamita was also there.
Yeah, he was also there.
And there was a light joke to Nyamita. I think the member of parliament said, like, you know, you people from ODM, people from Luo Nyanza, please don't say that you have been in opposition. You have never been in the opposition. It is us who has been in the opposition, because you find that you don't win elections,
but you come in,
and after some time you get into the government. We go out. This time we are not going out.
We are with you.
It was friendly. Everybody laughed it off. But when it comes to us,
when Nyamita stood up, he told them, you know, why we get into the government is because huko kwetu hata ukipata tu transformer moja ndogo, that's an achievement, unlike huku kwenye.
So it is proper, it is in order.
Yeah.
Now, my dear viewers, we have to bring this to a close because of the interest of time. Now, Lennox,
yes,
your last word.
Thank you. It's a very beautiful Tuesday. Have a very beautiful Tuesday. And we love you so much.
Okay, thank you so much,
Yes.
Mr. Lennox. Thank you for keeping tuned to BTV. Thank you for keeping tuned to Vibrant Morning. Remember, every day we are here to bring you the goodies and all that is in the People Daily newspaper, but in brief, your responsibility to pick a copy and read more comprehensively. Thank you so much for keeping tuned to BTV. Remember to visit our YouTube page, BTV Kenya. Subscribe, comment, let us know where we are reaching you from. You can also reach on us on Facebook page, that is Blackman TV. Also visit that page. Please like, follow, leave a comment. You can also visit us on TikTok and on Instagram, BTV Kenya. Thank you so much for keeping tuned. Keep watching. We bring you all that's happening across the Republic of Kenya in all our social media platforms. Thank you so much. Have a lovely Tuesday.